Let's continue breaking this video down.
She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate.
Rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So
That's pain speaking about.
Right.
All right. Here's the other thing. Notice throughout this broadcast, Dr. Umar Johnson continually cuts off the speakers. And he stops them before they even have an opportunity to voice their whole question. Now, he's a guest on their show. They can't even get a question out or a statement out. All right. So just notice that.
Because most black women know they will never get a man.
Okay.
A black woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get.
Again, so we're back to the conversation of soulmate versus bed mate. In other words, what you're saying is anybody will fuck you, but a soulmate you may never get. Okay, black women shouldn't be looking for soulmates. They should be looking for husbands. They should be looking for men who can be good providers and good fathers, and they should do that at a young age when they're at their most attractive. That's what they should be doing. As a matter of fact, him saying that black women know that they will never get a man, no, they don't. They don't know that. We didn't even know that. Huh? We didn't know that until they came out with the statistics recently saying that only 1 in 4 women in the United States are going to be, is it only 1 in 4, or 40%, less than half of the women in the United States are going to get married? So let's keep listening.
I have 2 daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest will be 21 this week.
So he's a girl dad. Somebody type girl dad in the chat room, 11-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband.
So could that be part of your motivation? You have a daughter, a 21-year-old daughter, and she's now experiencing what the rest of the black women are experiencing, and that is a deficit of men who she wants to marry. And we know what that is: 6 feet tall, 6-pack, 6 figures. She can be with all the alpha male she wants, but she can't really get them to commit to her. And she's overlooking these regular 9-to-5 guys. Is that what she's dealing with? But you being a girl dad, is that part of your implicit bias? Because you don't have sons. You're raised in a society dominated by women. You're raised by a single mother. You're a girl dad. So what we're trying to do is begin to analyze what this man's motivation is. Again, you can argue about his conclusions, but he's an expert in psychology. So when he comes to some sort of psychological conclusion, unless you have another expert in psychology challenging him, it's just your lay word against his. But we definitely can determine whether or not there's implicit bias in what he's saying to do what? To undermine the credibility of his conclusions. Let's keep listening.
See that? So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, his conclusion is that is a reaction to the reality that she may never get a man. Now, do you believe that? We can analyze that. Is it a reaction to the reality she may never get a man? Or is that she's been made to believe by this society that she doesn't need a man? So you're saying the cart came before the horse. She realized she wasn't going to get a man. And so now she's saying she don't need a man. Well, in the 1960s and 70s, when that rhetoric popped up, or at least in the 1950s, we were the most married group of people in the United States. So those women saying, oh, I can't get a man, that doesn't make sense. Because the stats show that at the time when this rhetoric was formed, there were men around. Maybe they weren't the men that the women wanted. Maybe they were a bunch of blue collar guys. Maybe they were a bunch of educated lames and they didn't want them, but there were still men around. So we have to question that conclusion with the stats. Now, unless we have a sociologist here to challenge this man, he's an expert, I guess. Nevertheless, let's take another break. We'll be right back.